and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
Now, I think it's time for the fun to begin. Are you all set? Yes. Now, let's start off with a game. Now, I start saying a sentence, pass it on to a next person, and it goes till that last person, the last member out here. And we form a blockbuster movie based on the theme laughter, humor. Ready?
Ready.
Yes, the final countdown begins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At 5 o'clock, Santosh Jagtap gets up in the morning, looks in the mirror and says, "Wow, a star is born." Yes, you can start the next sentence and it has to be spontaneous. It goes on and on. No thinking, it's spontaneous. A star is born.
Yeah, never before the star, you would have never seen this kind of a star before, and you would never see this star even in the future.
Next.
And then his wife calls him, and then he's in a happy mood, and then wife comes and shouts at him in the morning, "You didn't get the grocer," and all that.
Next.
From a star, after the scolding from his wife, he becomes a tiny little thing, scuffered in the corner of the room.
Next.
Now, after getting scolding, he wanted to take revenge from his wife.
So first, he thinks about.
Louder.
So he thinks about something, gets up from the bed, goes to the bathroom, and then.
And he's wondering, it's 5 o'clock, it's too early for anything now.
Next.
That's when his wife gets angry, and instead of becoming a star, he got a scar.
Next.
End of story.
No, it continues. No thinking.
No thinking.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous, okay. He's not hit. Okay, he tries to hit him. She tries to hit him.
Okay. Next.
And then he realizes that he's still in a dream.
Next.
When he comes up and see that all the people are watching him by getting a beats from his wife. That's it.
Next.
So the wife is the center of attention over here. So let's think from the point of view of the wife. The wife says, "No, X, Y, Z" to the husband, and the husband is like, "My girlfriend was better off."
Next.
Yeah, and similarly, the wife is similar, so she thought that, what if I married somebody else?
A lot of masala should be added.
Then husband says the same thing, I could have been happy if I could have married somebody else.
Next.
So the star says, what am I doing with this husband, my story? My job is to be in the sky and guide people. So I'm a cool star, I shouldn't get into all these things.
Next.
And then there was lightning and thunder and they were shouting.
Next.
And then he gets wet.
He gets wet. Okay, next.
Since he's wet, he decides to take a shower and get fresh. And then he looks at himself in the mirror and remembers that he has an audition to go to, which is where he's going to shine like a star.
Next.
But he couldn't see himself in the mirror, he turned invisible.
Next.
And when he feels that, I think I'm still in the dream.
Next.
He thinks to come to Toastmasters to improve skills.
Okay. He thinks that, there are millions of stars around, so I should probably be a moon in the sky.
Okay. Next. Anything spontaneous. Yes.
Okay. But then he realizes nothing.
He doesn't
Not
realize.
got anything from.
Next.
Seeing stars in the mirror, he realizes that the romance begins.
Okay. And he only thinks that if he take the bath and he couldn't see the soap falling down and he falls asleep, sleeps and falls.
Next.
And he'll laugh. Break his leg and he'll laugh. Think that, and he knocks the door to ask for help.
Next.
When he speaks about hell, by mistake he dials up 100, then the police comes.
Climax. Next.
Police take him to gym, make some muscles and get
Next.
After that, he trains to become a better star.
Better star. Great. Next.
But again, he realizes that everything is happening in exact manner, so he goes and leads a cloistered life. He goes in and chooses.
Great. Next. Anything, sir, anything.
Then he goes to a doctor for a treatment.
Great, next. Next.
He suddenly realizes that he is out of his mind and he wants a psychiatric.
Next.
He suddenly remembers that the word star gone is the word told by ex-girlfriend.
Next.
And suddenly a new star is born on taking.
Next. Yes, brother.
He feels that it's better to sleep again and dream.
Next.
He's scared that Transformers will have a place to live.
Next.
His two kids walk into the room and he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, the great finale. Next.
Finally, says his name is Samantha.
Next.
Samantha realizes so he has to go for shooting at 10 o'clock. So,
Next.
Then finally he realizes that something wrong with him and then he thinks that he should go to some Baba meditation.
Baba meditation. Next. Oh, he gave relatively great. Fine.
He was looking at his body and muscles there.
Great.
All this superstar gets into his head and he thinks he's larger than life.
Great. Great. So the blockbuster movie, we will give it to the general evaluator later, who will give a proper session for the meeting. Yes?
And they lived happily ever after.
Great. So that was the blockbuster movie. Friends, fellow Toastmasters, laughter is infectious. It is contagious. More than fever, flu, sneeze. Now, when we laugh together, what we do, we not only enjoy ourselves, but also we become energetic, enthusiastic, and creative towards life. Now, next to love, laughter is the second powerful emotion we could express. It's priceless, it's non-taxable, it's low calorie, and also it's one size, friends, that fits everyone. Laughter. The only people who do not have problems are those in the cemeteries. Okay, so when we have problems, whether it is at a workplace, at the club, at the house, we should just realize one thing: we are alive and kicking. Am I right?
Right.
Yes. So Norman Cousin, to give a perfect example, he was a novelist and he wrote a biography about himself in an anatomy of illness, where he describes or gives an account of his experience of self-healing. He was diagnosed of an incurable illness where he became dejected and totally upset towards life. He gave up faith and hope within himself. So he decided, let's change the outlook towards life. Let's give meaning to my life. So he got a projector, a movie projector, into his hospital room and started watching reels and reels of old classic English comedy movies. And he started enjoying and laughing himself into his tricks. His pain, where he was suffering, was just totally reduced. He started healing himself. This practice of movies, watching comedy movies along with the novel therapies, started healing his own life. So is the power of laughter. And I am sure this gentleman, Ralph C. Smedley, the founder, the visionary of Toastmaster Club, he was a great gentleman. He is the founder of the Toastmaster International. Could anybody tell the date, the place where he started this foundation? Anybody out here? Yes. And anybody out here? The date? 1924. Great, yes. And this organization, friends, it's all the guests who have come for the first time. This organization is basically not just for communication skills, but also honing people skills and leadership skills. And a great kudos to this gentleman who has started this organization. To proceed the meeting further, let me tell you, this meeting is divided into 3 parts. The prepared speeches, the table topics, and evaluation. And I would relate it to the 3 P's of life. Purpose, which is the prepared speech, passion, which is the table topics, and productivity, which is the evaluation. I relate purpose to the prepared speeches because without a purpose in our life is meaningless. It's blank. Similarly, each speaker who comes up here, they spend so much hours rehearsing, practicing with the purpose of giving the best speech. Passion, which I relate to the table topics because this is the most passionate and thrilling session. Some people are really nervous, including me. I get nervous when my name is called out even today, or even after a year. But I would say this is the most passionate round because it means thinking on your feet. You're giving impromptu speaking for 2 minutes. And coming on to the evaluation, which is the third session, the final session, which is the productivity. And individuals' interest to project a confident image and perform very well in an organization leads to the productivity of any organization. So I relate this to the evaluation session. Each and every member who comes up here gives their speeches, they are evaluated verbally in a very helpful and constructive manner. It's called the feedback. And now coming on to the general evaluator for this evening, this gentleman, he is a businessman. He has traveled different parts of India and he is in Bangalore for more than a decade. His passion is for writing and this part of his talent was hidden for so many years. This gentleman is totally committed, dedicated speaker. Today he is the general evaluator. And when I asked him about the theme, laughter, he said that is the most basic ingredient, not in the workplace, but in all areas of life. Without much further ado, let me introduce this general evaluator, committed speaker, Prakash Francis. A big, huge round